Hello students, welcome to Target IES. I hope you are having a wonderful day. Let us start with a very simple topic of steel structures, which is tension members. A very simple topic, just watch these modules, read our notes, more than enough, you will be able to solve all the questions. I bet that. Now coming to this topic of tension members, can you give me some examples of tension members? See, in structural analysis, I have taught you the topic trusses. यहाँ पे उसकी जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी हम लोगों को, but I'm just giving you a rough example. See, in trusses topic, I have taught you all the members are connected with a pin joint, right? So pin joint है, it is free to rotate, moment generate ही नहीं होगा. So what is happening here? They are subjected to only axial stresses. The members of trusses are subjected to only axial stresses. There is no bending stress. So when the loading is acting, obviously the top fibers will be in compression, the bottom fibers will be in pure tension, and this inclined members, whatever we have, right, it is subjected to reversal of stresses depending upon the position of loading. It could be either compression or sometimes it could be in tension. ऐसा ही कुछ पढ़ाया था ना स्ट्रक्चरल एनालिसिस में. See, we are not using those concepts here. Even if you have not finished structural analysis, it will not bother your modules of steel structures. Okay, I'm just giving you a rough example. If you remember it, well and good. No need to go and reverse structural analysis at this point of time. So I just want to say there will be certain members which will be just subjected to pure tension, and now we are going to design that in this topic, tension members. That's it. Okay, so what are the various examples of these tension members? Just give me some. So obviously trusses हो गए, and bracings also. See, we'll be using this cross bracings, right, in our multi-story structures. So this cross bracings also, to avoid more deflection of my building, obviously I will be using cross bracings. So these bracings, obviously some will be in compression and some will be in tension. And most important thing which you should remember is guy wires. Very important name, because this bit is frequently asked as a one-liner bit in SSC JEE or small state PSC exams. So there will be a question coming in your exam. What is guy wire? Compression member, tension member, flexure member, none of the above. So obviously your answer should be tension member. Okay? So if you take, you will be getting 1 marks. Now coming to the question, what is this guy wires? कहाँ पे use करते हैं सर guy wires? अरे यार बहुत जगह use करते हैं. Even in tall structures, or if you are standing some pole. Okay, obviously if the pole is very large, you will be seeing to support this pole there will be some wires. There will be some wires like this. Okay, डायग्राम देखोगे तो याद आ जाएगा, डायग्राम देखोगे तो याद आ जाएगा. Something like this, something like this, right? So something like this, there will be a pole, and नीचे क्या करते हैं, on a concrete base there will be a steel structure, and वहां से wires connect करते हैं so that it will not fall down, right? So these are called as guy wires. ठीक है, guy wires in steel stacks are example of what? Tension members. It is used in many places, even in boats. In boats you might have seen, right? So there will be a big chunk of wood or steel, right, जिसके ऊपर आप cloth लगाते हो, and it will be used for navigation. Wind will push it, right? So all these things, whatever this pole is there, right? So if you are seeing it in movies, you might have seen it will be supported here, right? So these wires which are supporting it, we are calling it as guy wires. ठीक है, guy wires काफी important. They are example of tension members, so you should remember it. So these are some of the things which you should remember as examples, because examples can be asked in your examinations. So there are a lot of things. For example, communication and satellite towers. अरे यार TV tower in simple language, you might have seen TV tower in your town, right? So obviously इतना बड़ा structure है भाई, कहीं ना कहीं you will be using this tension members. Agreed or not? So these are some of the examples, and let me make it very clear. While solving your previous year question paper, see, if you want to be successful, if you want job, then you should study less. See, मैं कह रहा हूँ कि study less. Then what you have to do to get job? You have to solve your problems more. Solve more. Study less, solve more. Don't go on studying all the reference books. फायदा ही नहीं मिलेगा. You will be wasting your time and you will be gaining zero knowledge. Whatever I am teaching you is more than enough. Solve as many questions as possible. Solve all ESC previous year question papers, GATE previous year question papers, टेस्ट सीरीज लिख दो एक दो कोचिंग सेंटर के, एंड सॉल्व गुप्ता एंड गुप्ता खुरमी इफ यू आर गोइंग फॉर स्टेट पीएससी. क्यों नहीं आएगा जॉब? 100% आएगा. वॉट एवर आई एम टीचिंग यू इज मोर देन एनफ, and those concepts will be revised when you are solving previous year question papers, okay, and giving your test series. So while solving these question papers, especially in steel structures, you should be careful. क्यों careful रहना है? Because steel structures is a relatively new topic. स्टील स्ट्रक्चर बहुत पुराने जमाने से है, मैं मानता हूं, राइट, 100 साल से है. इट इज फ्रॉम 100 years, बट let us be very careful. The code book which you are using, IES 800, what is the revision? 2007. So it got revised in 2007. If you are seeing these previous year question papers before 2007, let us say 2000, okay, the question and related answer whatever you are going to get will be different as per what I am going to teach now, right? वो थोड़ा अलग ही रहेगा. So let me make it very clear. Solve only questions which came after 2007. Before that, no need, because our code book is revised as per limit state method. Previously it was in working stress method. Now we are using limit stress method, and whatever your marks will be coming after 2007 in 2021, 2022, 2023, it doesn't matter. आपको यही फॉलो करना पड़ेगा, राइट? वॉट एवर आई एम टीचिंग यू, यू शुड फॉलो. इफ you are reading something else, you will be confused. Okay, I am giving you the latest knowledge, not latest knowledge, 15 साल पुराना है फिर भी latest ही है, relatively new concept. So be careful, don't solve any question before 2007, only solve after 2007. And even if you are solving before 2007, not bad, but don't take it seriously. Whatever I am teaching is final, ठीक है? Whatever I am teaching will be final. So now coming to this examples, you are done, right? Now you are very much clear. Now let us see what are the various types of failures. Before going to that, let us try to understand. Let us try to understand a very important thing. If I am applying certain load on a plate, okay? So on a plate, something like this. What will be the stress induced? The stress induced will be nothing but P divided by area. Agreed or not? P divided by my cross-sectional area. Simple सी बात है. So this is nothing but the stress which is being induced in my member. Tension member में stress कितना आ जाएगा? The tensile stress P by A. So if my P by A is greater than maximum permissible stress, then क्या हो जाएगा? Obviously my structure is going to fail. It could fail in many ways. We will study that later on. But my structure is going to fail. Now comes the question, what is the maximum permissible stress? You should be able to know, right? So हमने already पढ़ा है. So no need to worry, no need to make a note. It is already present in your notes. This is your lecture notes, right? This is your regular notes, right? So in regular notes, everything is written in detail. Just read it once, but I will be teaching based on the lecture notes, okay? Because diagrams, photos ये पूरे ऐड करके मैंने proper set बनाया, so obviously I will be teaching using lecture notes. But you should read our regular notes also. And this lecture notes is already provided to you, so you can just go to your OneDrive and then go to book section. तो यहाँ पे आप in this section will be getting all the books what are necessary to clear your competitive exams. You get target IES books, ESC get previous year question papers, objective books, right? There will be maths, aptitude, SSC JE books, okay, IS codes, and for books for various other competitive exams also. Just open your target IES folder, go to your steel folder. In steel folder there is tension member. I have already uploaded, okay? This PDF is already uploaded, you can use it. So now coming to this topic, what should be the maximum permissible stress? So you might have seen this in your notes already. As per working stress method and as per limit state method, okay? Working stress method कहता है for axial compression or axial tension, the maximum permissible stress you can take is 0.6 Fi. 0.6 into yield stress of steel. Fi you know ना, Fi आपने बहुत बार सुन चुका है. RCC, steel structures everywhere, right? So yield stress of steel into 0.6 will be serving as your maximum permissible stress. Okay. Whereas in limit state method, whether it is axial compression or axial tension, it doesn't matter. It will be just Fi divided by partial factor of safety gamma m naught, which is 1.1. Just remember Fi by 1.1. Okay? So there are only two partial factor of safeties which we use in steel structures in general. एक होता है gamma m naught, okay, gamma m1. So gamma m naught is basically for all the members, okay, so it is 1.1, whereas gamma m1 it is for all the connections, which is 1.25. partial factor of safety कितना होता है connections के लिए 1.25. you can ask sir ऐसा क्यों, members के लिए कम, connections के लिए ज्यादा. I have told you in the very first modules, in the first modules of steel structure, see, if a member fails, obviously it's risky, but if a connection fails, let us say the members are very strong, you are using very good material and they are capable of taking lot of loads, but if your connection fails, क्या होगा, ये member गिरेगा and it will be a chain reaction and your structure will collapse, right? So what is happening, you should give more care for your connections, right? The bolts, welds, it should have proper strength. Therefore we are not taking any risk. Partial factor of safety connections के लिए ज्यादा ले रहे हैं, which is 1.25, right? So for members, obviously tension members, compression members, flexion members, it doesn't matter. The members we are using gamma m naught, which is 1.1. Our partial factor of safety is 1.1. So it doesn't matter. Maximum permissible stress क्या हो जाएगा, Fi by 1.1. ठीक है? And I hope in your short notes you will make a proper table and write down everything, right? First module में मैंने आपको पढ़ा दिया था limit state method and working state method में what are your factor of safeties, partial factor of safeties, and what is your permissible stress. What is your permissible stress when it comes to axial compression and tension? Axial compression and tension में होता है 0.6 Fi, whereas in LSM it is Fi by 1.1. When it comes to bending, compression and tension, then it is 0.66 Fi and 0.66 Fi, whereas in LSM it is again Fi by 1.1. कोई ज्यादा परेशानी नहीं रहेगी in LSM because most of the things it is Fi by 1.1. Only thing which is changing is for shear stress. Shear stress के लिए कितना रहता है maximum permissible stress? Fi by √3 into 1.1, right? So √3 extra आ जाता है when it comes to shear stress, whereas your shear stress in working stress method is 0.4 Fi. No need to remember this for now. This will be taught in connections in detail, but lecture 1 में already available है, in your notes it is already available. Just read this table once and you should be able to memorize it. Okay, shear stress in working stress method we used to use 0.4 Fi as maximum permissible limit. Here we are using Fi by 1.1 into √3. This is some of the basic concepts which you should be knowing before itself. Okay, if not, doesn't matter, notes एक बार देख लेना. So this my P by A, ये सब मैं आपको क्यों समझा रहा था, because let us say if load is acting, then the stress induced in this member is P by A. If this P by A is greater than our Fi by 1.1, then we will be considering this structure is going to fail. Agreed or not? समझ में आ गया ना? So now use your common sense. To connect these members. Let us say I am connecting two steel members which are subjected to tension using a bolt. Okay, using a bolt. So now what happened? Let us try to understand. If you are seeing this member, the top member, obviously there is a hole now. So what is happening now? The stress induced is increasing or decreasing? Obviously stress induced is increasing. How? Let us try to understand. F is P by A. तो यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है? At this section the stress induced is P by A. Okay, but at this section what is happening? My area is decreasing. So what is happening? P by A is decreasing, stress will increase. As the stress increases and crosses my Fi by 1.1, my structure is going to what? It is going to fail. Agreed or not? समझ में आ रहा है कि नहीं आ रहा है? So obviously I have only tension members, I don't have much problem. But when I am connecting these tension members, obviously I have to connect, right? I will not get exact tension member size. Obviously there will be small sizes. We have to attach and construct the structure. So obviously because of these connections, my effective stress is decreasing. Agreed or not? My effective stress which can be taken by my tension member is decreasing. So it is very important to calculate what is net area. The net area which is actually resisting my tension. Agreed or not? What is the net area which is resisting the tension now? If there are two holes, then this area and this area. This is only the effective area which is resisting my tension. Agreed or not? तो ये calculate करना काफी important हो जाता है. Now what is your net area? Net area will be nothing but your gross area minus your area of holes, right? So if you have four holes like this, what will be your net area? The net area will be nothing but, if this dimension is B, then your net area will be nothing but B minus, there are four holes. There are four holes. So each hole, it has a diameter D, right? There are four holes. So 4 into D. If you are doing B minus 4D, you will be getting the normal width which is actually resisting my load. Agreed or not? So into the thickness of this plate will be nothing but the cross sectional area which is resisting the tensile forces at this section, at this critical section. I hope it is very clear, right? So what is your formula for gross area? So it is nothing but B minus ND, where D is diameter of holes, into the thickness of your plate. Concept is clear, right? So next comes a very important part, and this formula is very important, you have to remember. See, you will be seeing, so as I have taught you earlier, if you have a member something like this with both holes like this, so what will be your net area? Your net area is nothing but B minus number of holes into diameter of each hole into thickness of your plate. That's it. That will be your net area which is actually resisting my tensile stress. So now comes a very important part. If you have some staggered bolting, this staggered bolting or whatever the staggered connections, right, it is frequently used. इससे क्या होता है? इससे क्या होता है? Our tensile capacity increases. Okay, whatever the stress carrying capacity increases when we are using staggered pictures. So obviously, I will teach you the advantages in connections topics. No need to worry. But for now, let us try to understand. Whenever I have this staggered bolting, something like this, there are various ways a member can fail. Remember, it can cut here, it can cut here, it can cut here, or it can cut like this. This is also possibility, or it can cut like this. Okay, but out of all the various combinations whatever we have, right, so whenever we have staggered connections in later modules, okay, of the same topic tension, I will prove this. Okay, I will do and prove it, but most probably it is going to fail whenever you have the staggered bolting something like this. Okay, not only like this, it could be like this also. Okay, something, sorry, it could be continuing also, it doesn't matter. So whenever we have the staggered bolting, generally you will be seeing it will be cut something like this. Okay, so let us say the origin is A, this hole B, this hole C, this hole D, and this point where it is cutting E. So this A, B, C, D, E is the very famous way in which my plate will be cut. Okay, so let us calculate what should be your net area in this condition whenever we are considering failure along A, B, C, D, E. So let us be very careful. So first let us say my bolt is here and my bolts are here. So gauge distance, the center to center of my bolts vertical layers में, ठीक है? So my force is acting here. Let us say this is G1, second to third bolt, gauge G3. Okay, and what is the pitch? Let us say the pitch, the distance between these two holes, let us say P1, and then distance between second hole and third hole, let us say that is P2. Center to center distance P1 and P2. Okay, so then my area, my net area is very simple, B minus ND. It is same, right? B, the width of my plate minus number of holes we have. Here we have 3 holes, right? So in this above diagram we have 3. If you have 5, use 5, it doesn't matter. So 3 holes into diameter of each hole plus, okay, here we are getting plus sigma P square by 4G. What is the sigma P square by 4G? pitch का square divided by 4 into g. In this case what you will be getting, very simple, p1 square for this first set, first bolt and second bolt के बीच में, p1 square divided by 4g1 plus p2. Now come to the second and third bolt geometry, p2 square divided by 4g2. That's it. Okay, so p2 divided by p2 square divided by 4g2. This is your answer. Okay, so what is your net? So your width, effective width into thickness of your plate. Okay, whenever you have a plate something like this, okay, and you have staggered combination, your a net is nothing but b minus nd plus sigma p square divided by 4g. This is your width into your thickness. I hope it is very clear, right? So I hope it is very clear, and it is already 20 minutes. So what I will do is I will take a pause here. So this concludes the first module of tension member. By evening you will be also getting this module, which is types of failure. Very important topic, sure shot 1 mark question in your small examinations. Okay, there are 4 types of buildings mostly. One is cross sectional yielding. Roughly समझा देता हूँ. Let us say there are no holes, nothing. You are just dragging this member. Okay, you are just stretching this member. Obviously, what it will happen if you are stretching a steel bar? क्या होगा? First, it will deform, right? Similarly, even if you have a plate, if you are stretching it, deform it, and it is of no use to you. ठीक है? Cut नहीं हो रहा है. If you are stretching it, it will be deformed. This is called as cross sectional yielding. ये क्या हो जाएगा? Yield हो जाएगा. This section will be yielded. Next is net sectional rupture. So net sectional rupture कहाँ पे दिखेगा? Obviously, let us say you have certain bolts. Now only this area is effectively acting in holding my member, right? So obviously when you are subjecting to tensile stresses, यहाँ पे break होने के chances है, fracture आने का पूरे chances है. This is called as net sectional rupture. Next type of failure is block shear failure. Block shear failure is very simple. Basically, whenever the tension is being applied in perpendicular direction, एक shear force आएगा. कैसे आएगा? I will explain you using example. Okay, एक paper से मैं आपको समझा दूंगा. I will apply and show you that how the shear is coming and what this block shear failure is. You will be seeing block shear failure so often in real life also. We will study that. And then comes unbolting. Okay, what is this unbolting? So in unbolting, basically what happens is the outermost bolts, whatever are there, no, they are going to fail first, and then intermediate, then inside wale bolts. Okay, so why it is happening, everything I will teach you in the next module. In the next module itself, I will be teaching a most important topic of our tension member, which is shear lag. The most important concept कौन सा है? Tension members में shear lag. That will be covering in module number 2 of tension members. And after this you should be able to answer all the theory questions, and then I will teach you some important concepts which you will be useful in using in questions, and then we will solve some questions. Okay, in 3 modules we will be concluding this tension members. Have a nice day. See you in next module.